Hi, beautiful soul, and welcome to another episode of Intuitive Creators Spotlight. I am Stella, your host, and in this playlist, I invite amazing guests who transform their lives and now are on a path to help other people transform their lives too. Today, I have here with me the beautiful Natalie. She is an intuitive guide, an energy healer, and she is the facilitator of Going Beyond the Veil. She went from a very structured world of law to embracing the soul-led path of spiritual awakening. I'm so happy to have you here, Natalie. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm really honored to be here. And it's always a blessing to be talking to you, Stella. So,
Yeah, I can't wait for you to share your story. And we were having a chat just before we started this interview that it's so beautiful when you know that, yes, you have a job in this society and you serve, the people around you. You do everything that you like to do there. But then at the same time, you feel your soul with joy and passion. And in your case, is about embracing the spiritual path and guiding others on their paths too. So, can you remember when did you first have this connection with the spiritual realm? Can you remember that moment and share it with us?
yeah, well, I mean, it probably goes back to way back to childhood. When I was very young, I was seeing spirit and I didn't quite know what it was at that time. But I always had a white wolf that would have sat at my bedroom door every night, and he was shining so bright, like an angel or like a star, with this bright white light just coming out of him. And at first, I was a bit afraid because I didn't know, what this was. But it did then bring me comfort, and I felt like that was my protector. And I now know because I have grown in my spiritual journey that this is my gatekeeper. And there's many other things, throughout my childhood and growing up where I had experienced spirit and had certain spiritual experiences. And when I was 11, I was very ill and I was in hospital for quite a while, and recovery was like 6 months to a year. And this was while I was still at school. And I had this, it was probably almost like a near-death experience, and um, I remember my late great grandmother coming to me and communicating with me as I now know to be telepathically, because she was talking to me. I was seeing her in this absolutely beautiful like garden with very tall gates that they didn't end, they just went up and up through the sky, through the clouds. You couldn't see where it ended at all. And she was talking to me, but her mouth wasn't moving. And I remember thinking, why is her mouth not moving? And now we know, or now I know that that's the telepathic communication. Um, and she wanted to pass on messages to my other family members so I could, let them know that she was okay, and that she was looking over them and looking out for them to bring them comfort, of course, because that's what spirit does. They always come with so much love, and that's what they want to pass on to us. Um, so then I had other periods in my life, as you do, when you go through difficult periods. And that's really when I found that spirit has come in, and there's always been something else there that has come and helped me, and taken me out of that darker place, and turned things around for me. And I definitely had a spirit guide that actually physically showed up and rushed through me, like through my whole body. And it was telling me, like warning me to get out of that situation and out of that relationship I was in at that time. And I just had this knowing or this feeling, I have to get out, I have to leave. Um, So I now know that that's one of my spirit guides, my relationship guide. So, you know, I only found that out in the last couple of years. And it's only really been in the last couple of years where I've had a big spiritual awakening. And
Mm.
I mean, my spiritual journey has just exploded, and it has
Mm.
been at such an accelerated pace. And so many magical things have happened. And this is where, you know, as someone that has been working in law for a very long time, a very grounded 3D kind of job, quite dense, quite heavy, very stressful. Um, my opening up to my spiritual journey has really helped me to cope with that stress. And it's
Mm.
really helped me to, I think meditation has been like a savior to me. And I'm such an advocate for meditation.
Mm.
And that's where I started to really get into meditation and helping other people through meditation
Mm,
as well.
absolutely. And especially with so many distractions around us, and like, oh, look at this screen and look at this piece of news. And there is so much noise around us. And I love that you mentioned meditation, because we all meditate in so many different ways. And I actually know that some people, they can't meditate, for example, with their eyes closed, and because, because of their own past experiences. But just the idea of meditation is such a powerful one, because it kind of invites us to look at what meditation means to us. So let me ask you this: what does meditation mean to you?
Oh, to me, it for me, I think it is like the meaning behind what Buddha would say, being at one with the breath, being centered and still in that moment, and being able to connect to source and to the all that is, because we are all so interconnected. And we all connect. When we connect in through meditation, we're forgetting about the mind and the monkey mind. We're connecting into our heart, and our heart space is the center of everything, because we all come from love. And when we remember to come back to love, that's how we come back to wholeness. That's how we remember who we are. Part of my big mission here is to help other people remember who they are. And that's something that I'm really passionate about. And I mean, I had a session with a client earlier this afternoon. She was taken to her home planet through the interactive meditation that we did. And just to see the joy in her face and to see the transformation, it lights me up so
Mm.
much, you know.
Yeah, and it's kind of giving you the signs that, okay, you are following your own path. These people come to you because they need your help. And then when you're opening up your heart and you're serving them, and as we talked earlier, sometimes you may think, okay, what do I need to offer here? But then as soon as we release that and just like we drop it, because we have the experience up until this point in our life, we have the all the different moments that we've experienced as well, and then the spiritual practice combined with everything. And then when we drop all that, what should I say? What should I do? We just open our heart. And then every time you hear these stories, I can only imagine what a beautiful joy you experience as well. So let me ask you this. So say, for example, someone at your work who knows you there, and then that person also knows what you do, like outside of the work hours, would they say you are a different person? Or would they say that you bring everything with you at your job?
That's a really interesting question. Um, for those in my workplace, in my branch that I work out of, they all know. They all know what I do, you know, outside of my 9 to 5 job. And yeah, like I do bring it in, and I do, you know, I'm always saying, I think we should have meditation Mondays. So it might be something that I will bring in, you know.
That's
Um,
exciting.
yeah, yeah, I know. And it is becoming more mainstream, you know.
Mm,
I'm always talking about um things like meditation and breath work and all of those
mm,
things in my work anyway, So
mm,
and the funny thing is that a lot of my colleagues are now starting to come to me and ask me things
mm,
or ask me spiritual things. So it's really surprising because once you open up to your own spirituality, um, other people around you change.
mm-hmm.
They change their mindset, and you can see them start to open up and start to be a bit more receptive to it.
Absolutely. And then it's like when you go through your awakening process or processes, because we might have more awakenings, which we do. But then when you go through those changes, it's like you are shifting so much, and then those people around you, it's like they give themselves the permission to embrace their own changes just by watching your path and journey. If you were to remember an interesting moment, maybe at work, maybe you had like a moment of connecting with the energies in the universe, or maybe you had a premonition or anything like that. Can you share with us a moment like this at work if you've experienced?
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is that whenever we opened up this branch that I'm working out of, a lot of different alternative kind of people started coming, as in my new clients. And I do work with like in probate law as well. So you're working a lot with people that have crossed over loved ones anyway. And I think really that helps me in, that certainly helps me in the spiritual work that I do as well, because I'm used to dealing with people like that in a sort of almost like a counselor type role, because you're used to dealing with lots of different types of people and people that have serious issues that need to be dealt with, and delicate matters are
Hmm.
very close to the heart. So yeah, I mean, I've had people come in and we end up talking about um the robins in the garden and how spirit must be coming to see them and how they find feathers outside the office. And
Oh.
there have been various times where it has like intertwined, that spiritual kind of side with the workplace. So yeah, definitely it is.
Mm.
It is linking in at times.
I love that because, you as you go through your own journey, you just take that with you. You take the lessons, you take all of these insights, your way of communicating with the universe, and then that comes through in every conversation really around you. And like a lot of people think about the mission in terms of that's my job or that's my business, but then it's your energy that comes into that job or business, and that's magical and so beautiful. So I know that a lot of beautiful intuitive creators, they do have their businesses. A lot of intuitive creators, they have their jobs and have some sort of resistance towards creating a business. How do you create a balance between the two? Has it been hard for you, or has it been just easy and natural to have both aspects of your work life?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that it's easy in terms of finding the time. Time is always the issue. Something that I always ask my spirit guides about. Can we just like how do we slow down time? And the answer is always time does not exist where we are, so it's totally different.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, time would be the issue, but I am doing it and I'm loving it. So evenings and weekends, I do one-to-one sessions and it's working. Yeah, it is absolutely. And whenever I joined Going Beyond the Veil, and became a facilitator. That was a year ago, and 1 year this month actually, and
Mm.
that really opened me up very, very quickly to lots of different spirit guides, and it opened me up to celestial beings and the councils of light. And then the councils of light were coming through and saying that they wanted me to be a channel for them and to be their vessel. They call me their vessel. Um,
Oh,
yeah, and that they would clear my channel so I can be an open channel for them to share their knowledge and wisdom. So that has been a really incredible journey with that, and
mm,
the wisdom that comes through. I have to look some of the things up to find out what exactly I have channeled after I've channeled these things, because it's not something that I would normally say or know anything about.
mm.
It was really interesting, but yeah, I think I've gone off tangent probably there.
No, it's fascinating when as you dive deeper and deeper into all the things that you're passionate about, you discover new ways and new possibilities of connecting with yourself and with the world as well. So, can you tell us more about going beyond the veil? What is this? How does it help people? How did it help you?
Yeah, so going beyond the veil is a modality whereby it's an interactive guided meditation. And we can do these on a one-to-one basis or as group sessions. So it's really a meditation to help you meet your spirit guides. And so many things can happen in these sessions. It's very, very spirit-led and intuitively led by the facilitator. So, you can never guarantee where you're going to go, but it'll always be what the client needs at that time and for their highest good. And it'll be the next thing that they need to unlock the next bit on their journey and on their spiritual path. And it's really fascinating what can happen in these sessions. But um, there's always a lot of spiritual healing that can happen. And I also bring in my own energy healing to these sessions if it's needed. Um, sometimes the angels will come in and will give the clients healing. Sometimes their own spirit guides will give them healing, or their guides will actually ask me to do the healing.
Mm.
And something that there was a lot of gifts that unlocked for me whenever I started going beyond the veil, and I was getting my own sessions, and I get my own sessions regularly as well, or I can self-facilitate them for myself to get guidance and knowledge and other things that I might need to help me on my path and keep me on my path. But I've activated a lot of spiritual gifts within myself. And this is what can happen. This is the most profound thing in the Going Beyond the Veil sessions, because it'll activate all those dormant gifts that are lying there and just waiting to be unlocked. So for me, I was activated with energy healing. I was already a Reiki trained energy healer, but I've been given other symbols to use, and also was activated with light language. So my own soul language has come out and been unlocked, and that can heal yourself, but will also heal anybody else who is listening or is in the presence of the light language. And then the channeling is also another gift that's been unlocked. Um, so even earlier on today in the client session, she was given a third eye activation, so she can now have clear sight, psychic sight. And she said it was the most profound activation that she has ever come across, and it felt so much stronger even than her Reiki attunements, that she's had. So you can get a lot of profound healing as well, very, very deep healing in these sessions. And yeah, it's just incredible what can happen. But
Mm,
sometimes some people will go to their past lifetimes or timelines as well, and
mm.
we can heal things there.
Mm, it is a surprise for their soul, and I think that's the beauty of it because in this human experience we want to find the descriptions and explanations and the logical reasons for so many things. But then once you release all of that, it's just incredible what can happen. And I totally agree. Sometimes those clients that come through and maybe they come for a specific type of session or a reading, and when they say that they experience healing, and I know myself as I've been a client, especially at the beginning when I was learning a lot of stuff, I remember feeling, yes, I've learned something, but I experienced healing at the same time as well. And I feel that there is also this idea that the facilitator and the client both have to have their hearts open because I feel otherwise it can create a bit of a resistance. Have you ever experienced that when somebody would come to you and say, well, asking you loads of questions and really not trusting? Have you ever had something like that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that come and that they come to me because they maybe can't meditate or they're having
Mm,
issues meditating. They don't see anything. There's people that come and all they see is black, darkness if they try to meditate. And that's something that, needs to be gradually worked on. I've never had anybody that does not get anything or any benefit out of the session. There will always be something, but I have a lot of different tools in my toolbox, so I can tap into those things. If their spirit guides cannot come through for them because they're maybe not ready, because they're maybe a little bit blocked because of fear or all sorts of things. Um, Sometimes my spirit guides will come in, and they will give them messages or they will give them healing or, things like that. So it's very, very intuitively led as to where we go in the session.
mm.
But
And
usually if they start with, for example, just seeing black, then we'll always find a way of brightening up those colors. We'll
oh,
go through
that's so
the spectrum
beautiful.
of colors until we get to bright white, and that's when we're in the light and it's much easier to see or feel. But not everyone is going to see, you know, not everyone is a seer. They might just feel, get a sense, get a knowing, or they might hear. So everyone has a different sense, that
Mm.
is the best sense for them, really, to get communication.
Mm. Wow, I love that. What you just mentioned, that sometimes when they see just black, you work through it and you go through different colors until you get to that beautiful light. This actually reminded me of something, a conversation that I heard somewhere on TV or internet. Um, Somebody asked a child this question, what color of eyes do you think God has? Like what color does like what kind of eyes would God have? And I was very curious to hear this child's response. And so this child responded, every color.
Mm.
All the colors in every color. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
this is really beautiful. I had to stop for a
Mm.
moment and really think, yes, we all believe in different things, God, universe, creator. But I love, like you mentioned that as well, that we are all so connected. And this response, and now you mentioned that clearly this is a message that was supposed to come through in this interview as well. And so I know, Natalie, that you also work a lot with sound. Why is sound so important for our healing journey, for our spiritual journey? Why do you think this is so important for us?
Yeah, sound is becoming like one of the best healers, like it really is. And our voices can heal ourselves. We always have the power within us to heal ourselves. And this is what with clients, what I like to do is empower them, empower you, because, we have it all within. You don't need anybody else to tell you that this is what you should or shouldn't be doing. You have the power always. Um, but sound is so powerful, the vibrations and the frequencies. So one thing I will share is that early on in my spiritual journey, um, I think it was when I was attuned to Psyche Reiki. So I've got a few different types of Reiki that I'm attuned to. And I was here, I heard this voice in the middle of the night that woke me up, and it was giving me lots of advice and guidance. And the one thing that stood out for me that I could clearly remember was listen to sound frequency healing. Um, Sound frequency healing is the key. So ever since that night, I started listening to frequencies, and that really was a game changer for me. And it's something that, I always recommend to clients as well to listen to frequencies, because they really do help heal our bodies, and you can use them for so many different things. Um, and for me, I use my voice. So as part of my energy healing, I sing light language. And I have always been a singer, but never, it never crossed my mind that singing actually has the power to heal you. And it's just incredible. It really is. And the results that people get from it, just from listening to the toning. Sometimes it's just like tones that'll come through, not necessarily a whole tune.
Mhm.
Um, but it's the frequency that comes off it. It's the vibration. We all run on different frequencies and different levels of vibration. Um, so yeah, people have found it really, really useful in terms of healing them, and they'll get different sensations. Sometimes it awakens people's Kundalini energy as well. So there's lots of different, uses for it.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Thank you so, so much. I absolutely love your energy, and I'm really grateful you said yes to being a guest for my show here for my playlist. For everyone who's watching us, please make sure you're checking out the description of this video to know how you can connect with Natalie. And depending on when you're watching this episode after we posted it, please feel free to check out her pages, her links to see what she's creating, what she's working on in that moment. So, before we wrap up this episode, Natalie, I just want to ask you one last question. For someone who maybe is at the beginning of their spiritual journey, or maybe they are experiencing an awakening, or they've just experienced it, and they think about, okay, what can be my next step on this journey? What can I do to make it like a little bit easier in this human experience as well? What kind of advice would you share with them?
Yeah, so I would say connect with your breath and connect into your heart. And when you have a busy, busy mind, just try and drop down from your head and into your heart, and try and connect with nature as well. My guides always say, listen to the birds sing, and listen to the trees and the leaves rustling, and feel the breeze on your face, and just appreciate all that is, and appreciate where you are, and give gratitude every day.
Oh, gratitude is so powerful and so beautiful. It can help us in so many different ways. And thank you so much for sharing with us this beautiful message and your energy. If you're new to our channel, Please subscribe to this channel. If you want to let us know your thoughts about this episode, drop your thoughts in the comments for this video, and make sure you check out the description of this video to connect with Natalie and myself. I'm sending you lots of love, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.